The Crash Course Podcast is brought to you in part by DerbyParts.com, Smashmaster, Derby Parts, Derby Inc. Magazine, Live It, Breathe It, Be It, Derby Inc. The 2014 Bash for Cats, May 24th and 25th, Washington Courthouse, Ohio. And the Keystone National, a Bo Lockwood Motorsports production, July 19th at the Jefferson County Fairgrounds in Brookville, Pennsylvania. This is the Crash Course Demolition Derby Podcast, recorded live at the FingerLakes1.com studios in downtown Seneca Falls, New York. And now your host, Chris Marquardt.
Good afternoon, good evening, good day. Welcome to Crash Course episode number 28. We've got Andrew Shoemaker from United States Demolition Derby page going to be joining us here in a little bit, and then we're at the bottom of the show. We're going to catch up with Jason Butt to talk a little bit more about what's going on out there in Cuba. It's been a busy week. We were just kind of talking a little bit about some of the action that was going on out west. We've got Brian Tompkins here in studio, Josh Decker, Ben Haas also joining us. It's going to be fun. We're looking forward to talking with Andrew. Andrew's only 16 years old, from out there in Excelsior Springs, Missouri. Right about the same time, I think it was a week before Blizzard Bash started the Facebook page for United States Demolition Derby. Now it's got over 17,800 likes, which is pretty cool, and it's really become a go-to source on Facebook for that Derby presence. So we'll be talking with him, and then some.
You know what was cool about that is he asked me to be administrator to that page right after Blizzard Bash, and there wasn't anybody on that page, you know. And we just started. He got some good administrators. People started posting that around, and now look at 17,000 people on just following that. Awesome. You know,
it's
awesome.
It's pretty good.
Since November.
Since
November.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, we didn't do that.
No.
Well, you know why? Because Decker's not in charge. Maybe if you step down and Decker takes over things.
Yeah.
No, that's not going to happen.
You can pay me, Brian. I'd be glad to.
Did you see any of the numbers from last week?
Oh, yeah.
Number one show in 2014 last week in all of Finger Lakes 1 was the Crash Course with Mike Brown. Over 1,800 total views.
Nice.
That was pretty cool. Yeah, nearly 1,000 YouTube views.
Who says people don't like derbies?
That's right.
Wow, that is awesome.
Yeah.
Who says they're not going to watch?
Set a pretty high bar. That was pretty exciting that when we got the numbers from last week, that it was not just number one for the week, but it was number one for so far for the calendar year on Finger Lakes 1.
Wow.
Dude,
all of Finger Lakes 1.
The first episode we ever had, you wanted like 40.
You're right. First episode we had, I was like, we just need to make sure that. I just hope that my mom's computer works.
Yeah, somebody is watching. Dude, that is so awesome. Thank you, everybody, for listening. That means so much.
I
to
want to
us.
get on that also. Thanks for the support.
It's pretty cool. And Nikki Hotwired Baker, she supplied some of the photos there, and we got to reach out to Mike Brown, and the conversation that we had was awesome. I mean, it was awesome. It could have gone on for hours.
I see Mike's trying to dig up old pictures. You see that?
Yeah, he had some good
old Mopars on there.
Yeah, he did.
I did, and I went and found that video you were talking about. And he was
Pleasant Hill.
Yeah.
Oh,
I bet you, no joke, I had 20 people write to me. What's the name of that derby? So many people watched that.
Well, I couldn't remember it, so I was on the computer and I started watching our show, and I'm like, oh, I'll be able to get it from here. And then I got to the point where you said it the first time, X'd off the show, went and watched the video, and then came back.
I think Dylan's camcording is the one that video shot that one. It's pretty awesome, dude. His foot is wide open, dude, and he's just driving it wide open.
Yeah.
Hey, every time I log on to YouTube, that's the last one that's on there.
Oh, yeah.
I just watch it.
No, that's a good one for sure.
That was awesome.
But it was cool. Like it was. Mike was telling me that a bunch of people immediately started asking him how to start building Vicks. As soon as the show ended, boom, he's getting nailed. And I know Englehart was getting blown up. I had tons of people saying, "What's Englehart? Can I talk to Englehart?" It's like, just Facebook the guy. Yeah. If anybody wants to, just Facebook these guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're more than willing to talk to you.
Usually.
Yeah.
Well, I had a guy trying to sell Imperials to me.
Oh, he got to me too.
Yeah,
he got to Rick also.
That's what I said, message Rick.
I did. I did the same.
You can have inspect and run an Imperial at your own show, can't you?
No.
Just hand a flag in for a couple heats?
I suggested that, but that got shot down.
I think I just got a car for your first show, buddy.
I know. I seen it.
Yeah. I got it. The whole way home, I'm like,
the 116? Pictures of that wagon?
It's going to sit nice right in Ben's show.
Everybody's been saying, I've been reading, man, Josh, that's a bad car. That's a hard car.
It's going to be.
Yeah. I think you ought to drive the opposite 2 hours and come up to Canada Egg and run it.
Yeah.
I think you might be the only Imperial there.
Mike Christek actually just gave me another Imperial sub I'm going to put under a Shocker, which is actually the car I was going to take to Ben's show. So I'm going to have a couple imps ready this year, and I'm just going to go unload them as much as I can. I'm going to drive forward as long as I can this year.
Yeah.
Maybe all year. My goal is my goal.
Doesn't matter if you're at a Caddy or a Imperial or a 03 Ford.
You don't know nothing about that.
But no, I know. It took me an Imperial. I can do all right with them. No, it's a wagon. It's like a '69 wagon, but with an imp sub, you put them both together. All of a sudden, I'm in love. I love wagons and I love imp subs.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you've had pretty good luck with them older style Mopar wagons.
Yeah, just drive them frontwards. Don't drive them backwards. They're there for looks.
That's got a front. That's got a lot of front left.
Oh man,
yeah,
and the frame was spotless on it. It's thank you, Zach Daniels. Yeah. It's cool when some places start banning Imperials. You immediately talk to those guys, and boom, you snatch them right up. I'll take them.
Yeah, I think Chris Stack ought to be thanking me. I mean, and some of these guys who got Imperials and frames. I mean, I increased the value of them by about $200 as soon as we
I was just saying that to Jimmy Johnson because he's like telling me he could get a whole bunch of Imperials shipped up here, and it's like, absolutely, man, the prices are skyrocketing right now. Today's the day. Send them up.
And that's the thing is, I'm in the process or have processed and bought another Caddy, but I'm like, you know what? I might just put that on Facebook and just say, what Mopars do you have, just to see. Because now that I know a little bit more, I'd like to build an Imperial and run it somewhere.
I'll give you a Y-framer and a imp sub for your Cadillac. Just mill that over for the rest of the day.
Huh.
You got to do the work.
Is it going to be attached? Or?
I want a Y-framer and an imp sub.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, you do. I'm telling them.
I'm going to take a sick week off.
But I need a Hartford car. And a Cadillac would be a great Hartford car for me, so I'll switch you up. Think about that.
Well,
How about that?
Depending on what's happening in early July, if there isn't a stock show that some people have been considered going to, maybe I'll build and go to Hartford myself. Worst thing that's happened is I'll get run over, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I know a lot of people are going to Hartford this year, so that should be an awesome show.
Bunch of guys from way up north are going to go.
It's a good show every time. I mean,
yeah,
I've been going to that show for 15 years. The pit is awesome. I love how you pull down, and then the crowd is like almost above you, and you just feel and hear everything. It's
it was
kind
definitely
of a cool atmosphere.
I'm definitely going to make it down to watch this year.
Hey, you ready to go?
This is Chris. You ready to go?
Who's this?
Chris
who?
Chris who?
Chris?
I got 17,000 likes. I don't know who you are. Who are you, Chris?
Small potatoes.
You only got 1,800.
I don't know you. Joining us on the line, we've got Andrew Shoemaker from United States Demolition Derby page. Andrew, thanks for taking some time out and hanging out with us tonight.
Do what?
I said thanks for joining us tonight, buddy.
I hear you that well.
All right. Well, I'll work on trying to fix that for you as we go here. Just first off, if you would tell us a little bit about what you have started here and what you've got in the United States Demolition Derby Facebook page.
Well, what it was I was always on Facebook with derby cars and stuff because I ran a few times and I got to know a bunch of people from going to derbies around everywhere, and we made a page on there one night, and all of a sudden 3,000 people liked it within 2 days before Blizzard Bash, and we started putting a bunch of pictures of people's Blizzard Bash cars in there, and it just took off like that from out of nowhere, and yeah, it was crazy.
You're only 16 years old. Did you ever think that it was going to get as big as it did?
Well, actually, I'm just turned 17, but I honestly never thought it'd be as big as what it is now. I never thought that would happen.
I mean, how many messages are you getting on a daily basis?
Probably about some days when we ask for pictures, we could get anywhere from 100 to 200, and most days we probably get about 20 or 30.
Wow, that's pretty crazy. There's
pictures is like nonstop on that. If you're not part of that, which I'm sure every single guy listening is actually probably part of it.
There's some awesome.
But if not, click on it.
There's a picture of my big Sandy car.
I seen that. Actually, I seen it twice. Actually,
how'd that get on there?
I've seen that twice. Actually,
that's a good picture. The funny thing is now is your son's
taller
that much
me.
taller than you, and he's not standing on a fender anymore.
Yeah, and that wasn't that long ago.
Andrew, you got a whole army of people that help you with this page. You didn't create it alone. You had somebody that helped you create it, but now you've also got this whole troop of admins as well. I mean, how tough is it to keep that page organized when you've got this many people submitting stuff on such a frequent basis?
What? Say again.
How tough is it to keep the page straight?
It's pretty hard at times because all of the different admins, like, they post different stuff at different times. And then my buddy, the co-manager, Tim Williams, some of you guys might know him as Spinning Wheel Productions. He makes the custom edits to the derby cars and the race cars on there. And he organized it into all the little albums and stuff. So, like, if we put up an album for an individual event, like all the cars and action picks, that goes in an album. And then we got albums for each type of different car and states and, that type of thing.
Sometimes I probably screw that up, Andrew, because people will send me a picture and say, post this, and I just post it. I apologize. I'm probably half the headache on there. But, I just try to get people's pictures out.
That's the way I did it for the first couple months until Tim came along, and he kind of got it, more organized. So, yeah.
What was the criteria that you looked at when you started selecting who was going to be an admin? Were you trying to just pick a couple people in each individual region or each individual state, or were you trying to just whoever wanted to be an admin, just the more help the better?
Well, who kind of helped me got it started, where I kind of got the idea from, was Chase Mullering from Kansas, and me and him were the original two admins. And then I added a few other people that I knew was on WeCrash and Facebook a lot, and then kind of got to know a few more people, so I wanted some people from all over the country. So then I saw that you guys was out of New York, and you guys were down at Blizzard Bash, and I was there, and I messaged you guys, see if you guys wanted to be the admins on there, kind of cover your crash course stuff on the East Coast. And then guy out of Washington, Cordell Anderson, he handles the stuff up in Washington and the West Coast in that area, and I do the Missouri stuff in the Midwest.
Nice. And the page is so busy. I mean, it really is so busy. There's so much stuff going on there. If you want to get noticed in a hurry, just drop a note on there. But
well, we can see when we post pictures, it shows the administrators how many people looked at it. It's like I had one of Rick Englehart's that 9,000 people saw. It's like, wow. Wow. That's a lot of people looking at my derby cars. So, and they have it broken up in states, and I would hope all the New York guys, PA guys, get on there and get some of your pictures on there so people can just look at a state and just scroll through all the cars that are built in that state and just see. That way you can kind of compare builds and stuff. So anybody local or just anywhere, get on there and get your pictures in there if they're not in there now.
I was a little confused on it because suddenly all of the Smashed Empire Films photos started showing up all over Facebook, and I'm like, I don't remember doing this.
That's not a lot because I'm on WeCrash and Facebook, and I just save people's images and I just put them on there. And then, like, some of these guys that make parts like WCR that make the brake pedals and the axle savers and the shifters and stuff, I advertise for him on there, put his stuff on there, and then Hillbilly Speed Shop headers, we advertise for them, and then Wendlers, gas tanks, and sliders, and all that.
Wendlers.
Yeah, Wendlers, we're definitely behind Wendlers. He's a good guy for sure.
Have you ever had anybody come and say, hey, take my picture down? Or get upset because have you ever had anybody upset that their picture appears on there and maybe appeared without having permission?
No, I haven't ran into that yet, but what we do run into most of the time, which we do a pretty good job of keeping them away, are those people on there who like to troll and like the classic car people, like, oh, this kind of car shouldn't be derby, and start bashing them. And every time we see something like that, we just automatically delete them.
I love when that's on there.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
I just got kicked out of the Imperial New Yorker group the other day because I posted. I'm sorry, I didn't know you couldn't post derby car pictures. Guys get upset about that.
They get really upset about that.
Well, I post about 10 Imperials in a row, then some wagons, and then boom, I'm out of there. Rick Englehart told me you just got booted, and I'm like, I don't even know it.
ImperialHaven.com. You get on there looking for one.
It's like I got a couple.
Yeah.
I showed a picture of my front yard. And it's like, oh yeah, that pissed people right off. It's like these will be in China in 3 weeks.
The abandoned and neglected cars.
Yeah.
That group. Oh, they get touchy about derby people. They get real touchy.
Either that or you're scrolling down through, and next thing you know, you got a freaking purse ad on there.
Yeah.
That drives me crazy.
Yep.
Who doesn't love a good handbag?
Well, I actually learned about that because on the Northeast page, Gully let me be an administrator, and we were getting at one point we were getting 40 a day.
Because he's Josh Decker.
And I just started eventually I got pissed, and I just add, and then Gully's like, why did you add Ching Chong Chung? There's this name you can't pronounce, and then she put up bags on there, and it's like, sorry, dude, I didn't. You actually have to pay attention to who you add on there.
I remember that. He posted in the thread. Who keeps allowing all the ads and strippers?
It's Decker. It was me. I'm sorry, Gully. Oh, jeez. Don't make me administrator.
Andrew, do you realize how risky it was letting Josh be an admin on that page? I mean, look what you could have opened yourself up to. It could have been terrible.
I mean, it doesn't really matter to me. I'm just trying to get every Derby driver and every Derby driver together on that thing so I can spread the word about everything that goes on. pretty much.
Oh, you're definitely.
Yeah, you're definitely doing a hell of a job.
Yep.
You know what's neat that shows kind of the marketing here is just the name of it, and I maybe not, but I'm pretty sure just the name of it is why it's so big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
I didn't even really want to name it that. I was thinking about naming it like Demo Derby Center or something like that, but I just thought about it and I just put United States, or I was going to put USA Demo Derby, but I just put that down for the name.
well, I think guys see it and they're like, "Yeah, I'm in the United States." Like, you know, I mean, it's that simple. You know, it's like, okay, I'm there. Boom.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we got a lot of guys in there from Canada and England and stuff on there too, so
Bangers.
Yeah,
pretty
them
big
banger-
out there.
Them banger guys
Them
are
banger
nuts.
guys are whacked, man.
I wouldn't do that.
They're just,
No,
they're definitely drinking a lot of pints before they get on the track for that. Let me tell you.
that stuff's crazy.
Have you ever had the opportunity to drive?
Yeah, I've ran 3 cars. I ran 2 Box 6 and 76 Impala.
How'd you make out?
Those are good cars. How'd you do?
Well, the first one was a bone stock. I mean, it was like street stock. We built it the day of the Derby. We took out the windows, the carpet, stripped it a little bit, took it up here to a local show, and the spark plug wire got caught on fire on me, and I got second. And then my second run, it was a square body Vic, just a normal build, well doors, DPs, that kind of thing. Ran down to 4th place that night at Garden City. And then I had a 76 Impala. Ran it at Kearney, Missouri twice, and Maysville. And it's sit ever since because I've had some issues to where I couldn't run in the past year, and so I haven't been able to run in about a year, but yeah, that's what I've run.
Andrew, I always see you around pictures of Jack Teagarden's stuff. How close do you live to
Yeah,
him?
Jack's
Or
a really close friend of
Yeah.
mine. I've known Jack my whole life, and he's helped me put together all my cars.
no, it's cool.
That's good.
Whoa.
That comes in handy.
Good for you.
Yep.
That's awesome.
That's not bad. So that chain and go stuff. Do you get into that a whole lot, or is it you call the distributor protector and welded doors a normal build?
Or like what we consider is like a normal build here in Missouri. Just like, I don't know how to explain it. Just like, it's not chain and bang. It's this normal limited weld, modified, whatever you want to call it, rules. I don't know. Like UD type rules.
Sure.
Nice.
That's a good frame of reference right there.
Yep. Plate from the arms forward.
Yep.
Mike Brown,
It's
60
just
inch of plate.
what we consider like a normal weld build around here.
Yep.
Right. I mean, when have you noticed any influence or crossover as what normal means to people in different parts of the country as you watched over your page and as it grows, you've got influence from Washington, from the West Coast, from the Midwest, from the Northeast, from in the further away from that center where you guys are, it seems that it trends more towards a stock build. What have you seen in terms of crossover? People talking about that.
Like out here in the Midwest, like Missouri, Illinois, Iowa, Nebraska, the Dakotas, and all that, and Kansas, it's basically the way it is in the whole Midwest, like Ohio and Indiana and all that. Like, the cars are all... it's really hard to explain. I don't know. They're built hard, and then the ones out more west are more stock or...
Is Jared listening? Is Jared listening tonight?
Who's that, lad?
Jared Lazenby?
Well, I think what it is more from what I've seen is Midwest is more UD rules pretty much. You can plate from arms forward. You get out west, get out Lazenby's country. I don't think they can plate arms forward. I think they can weld firewall forward at a lot of shows, but they can't use the plate. You get back in Ohio, they can't use the plate.
Well, I mean, that's what I was
Right.
saying.
You
If
know
you
what
look
I mean?
at
It's
look
just-
at where those guys are in Missouri, and you sort of look at that Missouri
Cluster.
Kansas cluster right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
And if
tornado.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, where when you drive through, you can see the water towers in Texas.
Yeah.
From there, that being sort of the epicenter.
Right.
The further out you branch from that center, the more stock you get. I mean, we look at what they do up in Washington. A lot of that stuff isn't really heavily built. A lot of the stuff we talked to Troy Tag, and a lot of that stuff isn't crazy overbuilt out there. You come back to New York, we still have a lot of stock shows. Limited Weld is just probably in the last 4 or 5 years has started. Would you agree? Limited Weld just last 5 years or so started to get a real foothold among multiple promoters and more people trending into it.
Yeah,
it's legal now.
Yeah, it's
But
legal.
Chris, like you were saying, like you could tell the builds from what I've noticed, like what everybody considers is just like the basic build, like from what everybody sees anymore, like the Crown Vic, the 9802 with the dished out ass end and the creasing and the tilt and all that. That's basically the way it is all over the Midwest, and from what I've noticed out west, it's mainly old iron, and they don't seem to be built as heavy as they are here.
No.
But up in your guys' area, it's pretty much the same way.
Yeah, Josh.
I could tell anyways.
Josh, you're a softie, and you don't know how to drive.
Josh, drop your cars off.
No comment.
Yep.
No comment.
But in Utah though, they plate too because they fix the UIs and stuff.
I think for some shows because now just going back to the show, they're
Kings of Crash.
Certain dirt rules. I don't.
First,
you can't plate
one of the
anything.
first episodes, I remember Lazenby pulling up over a thing, and you could see the bottom of his shocker was plated.
Yeah.
But then I also know that in some episodes they were running bone stock, and I think in some of them they were running more modified shows. I think it's kind of all around over that way.
I think there's multiple regions with different up north,
Well, I know,
down south.
But
and
do you
all
agree
that.
that the heavier builds are centralized
Midwest.
in the
Yeah,
Midwest?
Midwest.
And I mean Ohio, Illinois, those are kind of animals unto themselves that have
Yeah.
trended.
Ohio's its own
Yeah,
breed. Yeah, it is. It is all.
It's a beast.
It's just an engineering. It's engineering.
There's a lot of
Oh,
thinkers
yeah.
over that way. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not. Don't take it wrong. I'm not talking bad about it. I mean, I don't
No, I'm
have
not-
anything. I don't have a problem with Ohio
don't
style
want-
builds.
I'm
but,
not either, but I mean, they're making
No.
their cars hard
Yes.
without using plate. Well, yeah.
It's all angles, geometry. That's the big thing with them is your flex points.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And eventually,
and
there's
your-
nothing left to bend.
And your protectors.
Yeah, protectors.
Well, I know that I was talking
Protectors
to
and
Ryan
blocks.
Sweat, and he was saying that they're starting to allow distributor protectors and stuff out there. Not so much tranny braces, but he's starting to see a lot more, lower cradles, distributor protectors, things like that. So
Well, that'll make a big difference out there. I mean,
yeah.
you start putting distributor protectors and tranny braces, everything else, and then weld from the firewall forward.
Johnny Gullo told me a story one time where he had a couple guys that traveled from quite a distance to come and take part in one of the Stern Dirt shows.
Dude, the Joker.
Joker come from North Carolina.
Joker went out and ran the October show out there.
Oh, really?
He flipped a dude.
Yeah.
He rolled the guy. And that's coming from North Carolina to Utah.
That's got to be a day away, right? 24
Oh
hours, 20
yeah,
hours.
Utah's
Yeah, that's all a day away.
Utah's 30 hours from where we are right now.
Awesome.
30 hours.
30
We're
hours.
flying.
You gonna build
Yeah.
a car, Josh?
We're flying.
You know how to
Yeah,
build a car?
did you
No,
say
I've
you
been
know
just
that-
watching the Utah site, and it's like I'm just trying to pick one up off the Utah site. It's like,
Did you
you
say
know.
you know that dude will haul anything for you anywhere in the country?
yeah,
You
not
just gotta
using
pay
them for
him?
that one.
You can always go out early and build one at Lazenby's shop.
Now that'd be nice.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be all right. Lazenby.
That's what you're dropping.
We'll be out 2 weeks early. I bet you can find cars out there, though. Dude, I bet we could just drive around, find a car, pull it up to Lazenby's, and have it done.
Did you see all?
I got to borrow a big block.
on there when they had the show though, all those guys just had stuff stacked up
Yeah, that
around.
was
I mean, it
awesome.
was all
Yeah.
And the worst thing that was wrong with them was the paint was faded from the sun.
Yeah.
I mean,
You know, like when you see pictures from out there, it's all so mountainous and then it's just flat.
Yeah.
It's like, why don't guys just go to a top of a mountain and binocular for cars? That's how I would do it, right? 'Cause
like
I can see
a spot and scope.
yeah,
what they
dude,
use for
just be
hunting elk,
looking for
just go out
cars.
there looking for
they
cars.
go to the next hill,
Just-
look for cars.
They probably got their own satellite.
Yeah.
It's out there.
Hack,
What I was saying about-
into the satellite and look
What was I saying about Stern Dirt is they had a couple guys that traveled for I can't. It was one of the Midwest states closer to where Andrew is, and they traveled a long way and they had distributor protectors and they're not allowed those, so they made them cut them off. And this is the thing that I like about Stern Dirt. They said if you cut them off, we'll let you run and I'll have new ones at your house.
Very cool.
And Stern Dirt replaced them.
Very cool.
That's actually that's in a copy of Derby Inc. magazine. That
Yeah,
was
I was gonna say that was like 2 ago. I remember
Yeah,
reading
that
that
was-
story.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
cool. Though.
There's still issues of that left, by the way. Derby Inc. magazine issue number 3 with coverage from Razorback, coverage from Redneck Rumble, coverage from Winter Slam. It's just a loaded issue.
Great
It was-
magazine.
It was
Very, very
full,
good magazine.
full.
Very good.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I just like looking at the pictures.
Yeah. Well,
I've had
yeah,
some
put
people,
more pictures
I'm not
in
an
there.
avid reader.
I've had some people say that they want more pictures. Somebody even said that you could even run more ads in the magazine as long as there's pictured derby cars. People are going to like them. I'm like, hey, take some of the pressure off the writers.
Oh, that's funny.
Christy King just joined up. She did the story on that father-son duo out in Ontario. She's doing a story for the June issue on Rick Clark. So that's going to be
Nice.
kind of cool. I'm
Nice.
anxious to see how she
Nice.
does with that. Rick Clark messaged me. He's like, so do you know this person? She says that she's right. I'm like, yeah, I sent her your way. He's like, all right. So then he agreed to the interview.
You know what that magazine I'd like to see in that magazine? I'm just
What?
throw it out there because we're on
What
here.
would you like
no,
to see in that
like,
magazine?
Like I'd
Do
like,
tell.
like I'd like Pete Hansen to show us how he puts just do a whole something like how he installs ARMs on his Vicks, or somebody show how
Like a tech
they
section.
like a tech section, just one certain
I thought
thing,
of that.
and just like 5 pictures and an explanation of how somebody did it. I just a thought of mine.
Well, I mean,
you
if
take that and run.
if you
Ben, do
Andrew,
you want
have
to
you?
do
I mean, Andrew, have you ever put any thought into developing a tech section for the United States Derby page?
A what type of section?
A tech section, just how tos and things like that. Actual load up people actually uploading videos and how to guides on ways to build cars and do some of the things that are so prevalent in your area and other people's home areas.
Well, I've tried to do something like that, but the way the albums on Facebook are organized, it's really hard to do, and stuff would be really hard to find like that.
Mm-hmm.
But if somebody messages us a question like how to build, we just tell them to go to WeCrash.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of good information on WeCrash
Yeah.
too. I mean, it's hard to argue that, and it was pretty much where
It
there's
started.
every how-to guide available, and all the different iterations of WeCrash. It's always been able to bounce back. Yeah. What are you looking for? What are you looking
He's
for
looking
over there?
for
What
his
do you-
phone.
I
You
think
lost
I
it?
had my phone in it. I just heard it ding, right? Was that mine or was that one of yours?
Josh, how's your short-term
I'm all
memory?
right.
You're a train wreck tonight.
I had a wicked long day today. Long weekend.
You're a
long
mess.
day. Sorry, dude.
Why don't you take tomorrow off and relax, buddy?
Yeah, I thought about that. That's a good idea.
See, every now and then I get them for
I got a
you.
wagon to work on anyway.
Yeah,
There
man.
you go.
So, Andrew, what's next for the page? I mean, where to from here? You just trying to continue to gain followers, or is there an ultimate goal here as you move through the formative process here? You got quite the following now.
Well, we're just trying to get some more followers, and what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to go around to every derby I can, like I did with Blizzard Bash, and like taking pictures from Redneck Rumble and Winter Slam and all that, just taking these pictures and taking other people's pictures and putting it on there as the derby happens is like kind of like if you're not there, you can see it as it's going on with pictures.
That's awesome.
Like
That's
have
cool.
updates and
That's an
stuff.
excellent
That's
idea.
what I'm trying to do.
Great idea, man.
Yeah.
They call
Hey.
those photo essays, Brian.
That's awesome.
It's a photo essay.
Wow, really?
Collage.
I'm really good at essays.
You know,
Believe
that's
it or not, I have a good line of shit. Now leave me alone. Hey, Andrew, there's a pretty decent derby coming up here in May. Bash for Cash. You may have heard of it. That'd be a really good that'd be a really good road trip for a 17-year-old kid and a couple buddies to go on. Just getting that out there for you, bud.
Yeah, we've already talked about that. My buddy Tim, he's talking about coming out there. He's gonna get us where we can walk around the pits or whatever, or something like that, or come up by the track and be able to take pictures of it. And like I was talking about, just put the pictures on there as it's happening and something like that.
Listen, the key is when you get there, just tell them you know Josh Decker, and the doors will open up like
Josh
the Golden
who?
Palace.
You know, I was saying, I've talked to like so many Derby guys. I don't know one person that's not going to Bash or Cash.
Yeah,
I'm being
it's
serious.
gonna be
Bash or
huge.
Cash is going to
Yeah,
be
they've-
so awesome this
Well,
year.
Gonna be busy.
Everyone's going.
We talking to Tim and Russ there, or
Yeah,
Tim,
but
we were talking to Tim at Redneck Rumble, and it's getting to the point where they're almost have outgrown the facility.
Yeah.
And that fairgrounds and that facility is
Huge.
huge.
Yeah,
I think half of New York's going,
absolutely.
and it's the good half. I mean, it's some good. It's gonna be
Bubba?
good. It's gonna be some good times. You know, I can't wait, man. Cannot wait. I'm gonna get hydrated before I go out.
Yeah, spend
Dude,
spend
the
a-
campground.
That,
You got to get on Bronze Corner.
okay. Bronze Corner. Okay.
Bronze
noted.
Corner.
Chris, what are we doing out there? Where are we sleeping? Just anywhere?
Don't know yet.
Yeah.
The
We got a
van.
month. I would.
He's got a van
Yeah, we
now.
got a new band van,
Oh,
dude.
that's
We're
true.
in.
We could all cuddle.
Nah.
We?
you and
I am not
you and
sleeping on the dirt.
You and
You
Steve.
and Steve are cuddling.
What do you
No.
What do you got planned?
I hope a bunch of us are going.
Yeah, it's gonna be busy. It's gonna
Now
be
the
busy.
question is, are you going to ride out with the Brett Relier?
Yeah.
Or are you going out with the Crash Course podcast? I don't want to put pressure on you.
He's not riding out with us.
I can do whatever I want, actually.
Well, you
but
can, but
I
I
am going
just-
to take my truck because I know like 400 people that need parts to get brought back, so I'm figuring we'll just load right back up. And that ain't as bad of a
I
drive.
thought about doing that myself.
Yeah, it's only
Okay,
7
then you can
hours.
drive and I'll ride with you.
I got a crew cab.
Done.
Done. Fords are big. Got to take the man van too, though.
Yeah, I gotta get that dressed up still. I was over at the decal shop today. We were
Pricing things out.
They were looking. They
I
were
pulled
looking.
in, and the only thing I see is a 31st lap sticker, and I went,
Boo. No, you know what you should do is like
Tell me
20
what I
inch
should do.
rims and
Tell me
let's
what I
get
should
some
do.
dark tint, just some
Dark
black
tint,
tint.
yeah.
dark tint.
Put
No,
it up.
I'm not dark tinting.
Let's drop her low,
No. It was so sad. It was so sad to let that Avenger go. I missed that car already.
We
but-
should have
but you know
smashed
what
it.
No, are you
he
kidding?
did.
We should have smashed.
Repeatedly. I almost did when I drove it home from your house. He doesn't know that part of the story, though.
I'm not interested in smashing it. But that van that van will move. It's got the same motor in it that the Avenger had, and got plenty of room, so we should be able to travel pretty easily. Let me just outgrow the Avenger. Couldn't keep it anymore.
If anyone asks, I'm going to say it's an SUV. Just
It
I
is.
don't care.
Yeah.
Call it whatever you want.
Well, I don't
Yes.
want, my friends are going to say, like, you're going in the vans. Like, no, it's SUV.
Just tell him we're carrying
It's all-wheel
a
drive.
Yeah,
keg.
but when you're sitting in it like you're sitting on this couch, you
That's
can, you
true.
can be laughing all the way out there.
That's true.
Now,
There's a lot of room in it.
Hey, Ben, you got a call.
Ben, your phone's ringing.
The fucking little hate music.
Sorry about that.
Apparently, the volume is just as loud as the
Light.
The
Something
light
like the
goes
light.
off.
It's a light, yeah.
You can suntan off of that thing. Well, we got Jason Butts here coming up in just a few minutes. Andrew, man, I appreciate you coming on and talking to us. Congratulations on all the success with United States Demolition Derby Facebook page, and wish you all the best in terms of your travels. It sounds like you got a busy summer mapped out in front of you, and hopefully the followers keep piling in.
As many two of them as I can.
That's right. You gotta travel and get the word out, man.
Yep.
Well, we sure do appreciate it, and we'll be watching that page, and we wish you the best going forward.
And guys, I appreciate it too. And I was extremely unprepared coming onto this, and I'm really nervous. So
Don't worry about
You
it.
did fine.
You did fine. Nothing to worry about at all.
We'll talk to you later,
Nothing
buddy.
to worry about.
Take it easy, bud.
Thanks, Andrew.
yep. Thank you guys.
Yep.
Bye now.
Hey, you know what? I as soon as the show got done last week, my Facebook was blowing up because there is an Imperial versus 03 Heat.
Yes.
At
we,
Blizzard
we
Bash.
missed that.
We
Yeah,
were saying
suicides.
we were and suicides.
Yeah, that's right.
No, we were saying how cool it would be, and it actually was already happening. We didn't.
Really?
That's how. Yes,
Yeah.
Sam has an Imperial.
That's how
03
full that is.
Endure,
I didn't even-
suicide Heat. Ben,
Maybe you
Oh,
should buy an
Ben.
Imperial, Ben.
dude, I'm not even. It's like I know I'd get crushed, but it'd be awesome to take an imp out there.
How many cars you bringing out there?
Everything I got.
You literally need to bring like a 12-car trailer.
Well, I mean, he's for the first 3 classes. Other guys are building cars for him. So I mean, he doesn't have to.
Shut your
I mean,
mouth, dude.
for the
You know what? I'm the kind of
Dude,
guy.
if you want to build Imperial for that show, bring it up. We'll start building
Okay,
it.
yeah, good. Okay, Ben, I love Ben to build it. Ben, I'd love you to build me an Imperial. That I run out there.
Get me the rules and.
All right, I'm done.
Did Jack Teagard ever message you back?
No, he didn't. No, didn't get back to me. He said I could run his.
Dude, not saying it in a bad way, but literally that's a picture of the guy you were just talking to next to the Enforcer car.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So literally that car is probably older than him.
Oh, absolutely.
yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, he just said he just turned 17.
That car is older than him.
Yeah, no, but I
awesome,
mean
dude.
that's not saying it in a bad way.
No, that's
No,
I'm
awesome.
not saying it in a
That car's-
negative
yeah,
way.
that's
but
awesome.
That's
Well, I
just,
mean, the thing is I can't remember what Imperial it was built out of, but mid 60s. Of course, the car's older than him, Ben.
no, I'm talking.
Oh man.
Now he's. Chris knows what I'm talking about. He's just being smart.
It's been a Derby car longer than Andrew's been alive.
Yeah, definitely.
It's been built into the Enforcer car.
Yeah.
Yeah, since
Yeah.
longer than he's been around. Yeah, I mean, and that car started. I want to make sure that I remember the story right. I know I'm going to screw it up, but that started as Iron Maiden, and then they turned it into the Enforcer.
Correct.
So I mean, there's a lot of history piled into that car
Yeah.
right there, sitting in that. I don't even know what that
Quonset
was.
hut.
Quonset hut.
Yeah,
Quonset hut.
Nick Nicastro used to store cars in one of those. till it fell
Tornado
out of-
bait.
tornado bait.
But Blizzard Bash is gonna be just like
That's gonna be
insane,
wicked.
dude. Like everything about Blizzard Bash is awesome,
And
but
we
then they
don't-
keep adding better stuff to it.
And
It's
I
like,
don't think we have to wait for a taxi this year.
No,
No.
no, we're
Walk
not
across
going.
the street,
Yeah, I hope so.
parking lot.
I hope we're in
it's
that
looking-
parking lot because that was the place. To
That
hang
was
out.
the place to be.
That's the place to be. If you're trying to get a hotel room, get the one right there. It's the best.
That's when we met
Yes, we did. DMP.
DMP
Chad and CJ.
Yeah, those guys are great.
and the guy with the neon fluffy sombrero.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he'd been drinking.
I can't
a while.
wait to go to
He had,
TPK.
he had a good day.
Yeah.
He was in the middle of a good day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sunday was still the same day
Yeah.
for him. I don't
They
think he ever
didn't
made
even
it
go
to
to
bed.
sleep.
No,
No,
they never
couldn't
went to
have.
bed.
Could not have.
No, we got to get
Let's get butts on here.
we got to do I got to get
Damn,
Jason.
get your
We got
ass.
some,
Yeah,
yeah,
get some advertising out of the way, bud.
yeah, we should probably do
Pay
that.
some bills.
So, here we go.
The new rules are just right. Set aside July 19th for the reinvented Keystone Nationals. Again this summer, Bo Lockwood will host the Keystone Nationals at the Jefferson County Fairgrounds in Brookville, Pennsylvania. A revamped rulebook will help welcome an all-star field as the limited well division takes center stage in a feature paying $5,000 to win. Pre-entries for the stock division are already full. For more details, join the Keystone Nationals community online at www.facebook.com/Keystone Nationals. Once again, the Keystone Nationals, July 19th, 2014 at the Jefferson County Fairgrounds, Brookville, Pennsylvania. What better way to spend Memorial Day than seeing a bunch of cars being smashed? Spend the holiday with Smash It Demolition Derbies as they again host the Bash for Cash at the Fayette County Fairgrounds in Washington Courthouse, Ohio. Planned for May 24th and 25th, the card is headlined by the co-main event, the 11,000 to win DerbyParts.com 80s and newer class, and the DerbyTees.com 10,000 to win Turn Back the Clock division. Other classes include full-size trucks, U-Compact, street stocks, and the 80s and newer wire-up division. Gates open daily at 10 a.m. with action to follow at 4. For more information and details, visit the online home of Bash for Cash at www.smashitderby.com. Total Destruction Demo Productions is primed for an explosive 2014. Based out of Trumansburg, Steve Manshaki and Lead Inspector Ben Host have a busy summer with 4 epic events over 7 nights scheduled all over New York State. The schedule starts with the Spring Fling in Morris, New York, June 14th. Total Destruction then hosts 2 nights of carnage at the Ontario County Fair in Canandaigua, New York, July 22nd and 26th. Then the grueling Double Down follows with the Otsego County Fair in Morris planned for July 31st and August 3rd, and the Franklin County Fair in Malone set for August 2nd and 4th. For more details, visit www.totaldestructiondemo.com or call 607-769-6820. And we're back. We've got Jason Butts on the line. Jason, you got us?
Yeah, I do. How's it going, guys?
Great. Hey, thanks for joining us, making some time out here to answer a few questions about everything. Lots of stuff going on with the Smashed Empire Nationals out there, scheduled for June 7th in Cuba, New York. Jason, I mean, I guess if you want, what I'll do is I can start off. I'll just hand the floor to you, and you can kind of make your opening statement with everything, and then we got a couple questions for you afterwards.
Okay. First, I'd like to thank everybody for their, for contacting me via either it's been phone or Facebook over the last week. Just to clear a few things up, the fire department itself did not vote me out of the department as far as removing me from the chairperson of the Derby. That was strictly my decision. It was a political thing for the officers' ranks that got a little out of control, and I'm taking necessary steps to move forward in my personal life, and unfortunately, that's not in Cuba, New York. So I'm moving away, a couple towns away. But as of right now, the show still stands to take place June 7th. My position with the show currently is up in the air. I'm trying to work out some type of agreement with the department to still be the show manager and possibly train somebody to keep it going forward. But at this time, I'm not really sure what's going to happen on that front. There's a meeting, I guess, scheduled for tomorrow night for some decisions to be made for going forward.
How tough is this situation to work through from your position? given that you've worked on the show for 4 years, and then after the fire department vote, you in turn decided to step away from the show, at least for the interim?
It was initially, it was an easy choice on my turn, just because of some things that had taken place. Nothing to do with the show. Just want to make that clear. None of the things that have taken place have been, anything to do with the Smash Empire Nationals or anything like that. It's all been internal within the department. Nothing negative towards the show. But once I announced that I was stepping away from the show, a lot of people have really came forward, concerned about the show and what would take place with me not being a part of it. Therefore, I went to the department and expressed my concerns to them with me not being involved. A lot of drivers, sponsors, and that type of thing have expressed their concerns as well. So I've offered my assistance, and hopefully we can come to an agreement so that I can still help out with the show and still make it one of the biggest shows in New York.
So just to make sure that we recap at this point, the money is still on the table as it's outlined in the rule book.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
That's locked in, and we've got Jeremy Hayduke and Derby Dog still locked in as the show promoters. They're going to be overseeing the rules.
Yes.
And no rule changes have been affected. Nothing's gone backwards or anything. It's still the same rule book.
Nothing as far as the show as a whole has changed. Currently, the only thing that has changed is I've announced that I was stepping down as being a part of the show.
And even that might change back yet.
What's that?
And even that might change back yet.
Yeah, and that could all change. When I announced that, I was shocked and overwhelmed by the amount of support that the Demolition Derby drivers and fans have came to me with questions, comments, concerns, and so I'm trying to do what's best for the show, the drivers, and the fire department as a whole. And so I'm trying to, still make it, work out for everybody. And if we can come to agreement, then, I'll be there as a part of the show, and nothing will change at all. If I'm not a part of the show, nothing will change other than, for sure, other than myself won't be involved if any sponsors or drivers choose not to attend due to that. That's strictly their choice. I'm not going out and soliciting that by any means.
Right.
So.
Yeah, that's a little bit dangerous. It's scary sometimes when drivers that are building for a show hear any kind of wave in a show. It makes people nervous, and not just your show, boss.
This is a big change for this show.
It's a show that's been going on a very long time. It's been going very good for a very long time. But you know how Derby drivers are. They want to make sure everything they heard is going to happen, and when you hear something like this, I think it makes some guys nervous, And I'm glad that you're on here trying to clear it up a little bit, because I was hearing tons of guys saying, if Butts isn't there, we're backing out of it. And I heard stories that maybe Derby Dog wasn't going to be there, which of course guys are going to back out because of that. So it's very important that the fire department figures this out real quick.
Well,
yeah, and like I said, there's a meeting tomorrow night. I guess they're going to address these concerns. I've initially, I could have cared less, but with the amount of support that the drivers have shown me, both drivers, Jeremy, Chris, and many others, I want to do what's right for everybody else too. There's obviously a lot of respect out there for myself that I guess I didn't really didn't know, and I just want to make sure I do what's right for everybody and try to continue. I know how much hard work and time people put into their cars this late in the game to, you just can't run the car anywhere. We have quite a few local guys that aren't willing to drive 7 hours to a show, but we also have people anticipating on driving that far to compete. So I got to do what's best for everybody, and we'll hopefully make it. Hopefully, decisions can be made to accommodate all that, and there'll be no worries. But like I said, they're having a meeting tomorrow, and we can hopefully come to an agreement, and we'll move forward.
We look forward to more news coming out of that. As things develop, you can follow along as everything evolves. Facebook.com/Smashed Empire Nationals. They got a Facebook page, and Jason's real active with that. And there's a lot of questions at this point that aren't going to have answers. That aren't going to have answers until after that meeting happens. How registration's been?
Good, actually. I just went to I just got I don't know. I think it was three more entries in the mail just yesterday. Picked them up from the fire hall, actually. So entries are good in all classes. I know, there's a handful of guys out that have sent me, especially in the weld class. There's a lot of guys that don't want everybody to know they're coming, but
yeah, me.
They've sent me pictures of their cars, and so now things that have developed lately, they're still anticipating on running. There are a few guys that say they won't run if I'm not involved, but hopefully that's not the case. And I don't want anybody not to run just because I'm not involved.
Well, it's going to happen.
Appreciate the support.
It's going to happen if you don't run that show. And it's
going
going to happen if you don't run that show, and Derby Dogs isn't in charge. Just like everything has been said, it's going to kill the show.
Yeah,
I think it's that simple. Unfortunately,
Derby drivers don't like change. Period.
No.
Nope.
In
not 6 weeks, 6-8 weeks before the show either.
Like Josh said, just a little wave in the action creates a bigger wave. And
tsunami.
But
Butterfly
my question is, Jason, since you're on top of the registrations, have you met your minimum car counts?
Yes.
That's good.
That's
good.
I mean, that locks in a lot of other stuff that
locks in a lot of people. A lot of people have questions.
And I can tell you, Derby Dogs has no. They have a signed contract with the fire department. There's no, as of right now, they're all in. Regardless of what happens with me, they have a commitment to the fire department. They have a commitment to the drivers and fans as well. They're undoubtedly they're going to support the drivers, and they don't want things to change either.
Sure.
Definitely
we've worked so hard to get everybody on board. There was a rough start with rules and comments and everything going forward to 6 months ago. We've worked past all that stuff. Those guys have worked hard at correcting things and answering hundreds of questions, and they came too far to drop things. But as far as I'm concerned, the fire department intends to still run the show and have Derby Dog Productions be a part of the show. There's been no talk of cutting the purse. Or anything like that.
Well, the reason why the purse was mentioned because there's a minimum car requirement in the purse for the payout.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to make sure you verify it to everybody on here because people also have that in the back of their minds. You don't hear what the car count is, and that's something that's always in the back of your mind. So, pretty much,
I appreciate that.
Pretty much, it's a guaranteed payout of what's advertised now, and guys should run the show.
That's actually a very valid point, Ben, because guys get nervous. I can tell you there's times I don't go to shows because you think the cars aren't going to show up.
Exactly.
He's saying they're going to be there no matter what.
Right. The money's going to be there no matter what, so you know what?
Go.
If 10 guys say screw it and don't run, guess what? That's 10 less guys got to run.
Exactly.
So
it's,
they should still go support the show.
Yes. Right. Exactly, Ben. Good point.
Yeah, no, and I agree. You know, and I know, you know, there's been a tremendous amount of support of myself and my involvement in the show over the last 5 years, 7 years, whatever it's been. And I appreciate everybody saying, I'm not going to go run if, you know, what they did to you caused you to walk away. You know, the heck with them. I'm going to, you know, not run there either. But at the same time, I know that those guys are also looking forward to run the show, and they built their cars for this show. You know, I'd hate to see guys not come run just because of that.
Well, you know what happens though, Jason, is they get nervous about, does it affect how decisions are made during the Derby,
Right.
and how the Derby is run.
Interpretations.
Yeah, and all that stuff. And right now, guys know if
It's been a
this was said
constant.
for years and years and years, and Jason says it's this, and that's what it is. But now all of a sudden you say, hey, some random guy from the fire department's going to choose now. It's like, ooh, that makes me nervous because he isn't a Derby guy. He hasn't been there every day since day one, and it just makes guys nervous, you know. So that's one thing you want to stay
No,
away
I
from.
understand.
You got to stay in there is really what I'm saying. For your show, you have to stay. You know, and I know that there's been some stuff that's gone on, but really, I think you really make or break that show. You know, I don't know if, if I should say that.
I've also talked to several individuals at within the fire department, you know, because there's certain people that are like, oh, I'll take it over. I'm like, no, you won't. You don't have what it takes. I know, you know, you gotta be able to work with people, you know, and I'm not just going to hand it off to anybody. I currently still in my possession have all the entry money. I have everybody's entries. You know, so I haven't given anything to the fire department. You know, so nothing's being handed over yet. I'm not just going to hand it over to anybody.
No, that'd be a bad
I'll
choice.
hand it over to someone who I think can, you know, take the show on and continue doing a good job.
So what you're saying is, even if you do it this year, you're not doing it next year. Am I getting that? Am I reading between the lines?
That's not necessarily true. You know, if we can work out some type of deal with the fire department, and they, you know, they want me to be a part of it because, you know, they don't have. Nobody really knows year to year what goes on, whether it's the Derby banquet or, you know, all the stuff going on during the winter time, and, you know, all the meetings with whoever the promoter may be. You know, there's a lot more that goes on to it than just, you know, putting up a We Crash post and, you know, start collecting entries.
Well, they can do that because no one's going to show up.
What's that?
They can do that, but no one's showing up. I mean, there's a lot of places
Right,
that's all they want to
exactly.
do, and that,
Exactly.
that you can do it, but no one's coming to your show.
Right, absolutely. And, you know, so there's more than you know, it's a year-long progress for the next show. You know, I mean,
Right.
as soon as the show's over this year, you know, you got to start working on next year's show, whether it's going to other shows and trying to figure out different things to make it better, you know, whatever it is, there's always room for improvement. And it's a year-long thing. And,
Sure.
you know,
You ain't gonna tell me none.
Year round. But
I got to pick your brain anyway,
Poor
Brent, when
Ben.
we get out of here. I've been reading through your rules. Remind me.
But you know, Jason, we're not going to keep you. We're just about running out of time here as well. Appreciate you taking some time out and sort of clarifying some things, and hopefully that puts some minds at ease. And wish you the best with the meeting coming up tomorrow.
all right, guys, and I'm sure we'll be in touch. And,
We'll talk.
you know, like I said, if I need to come on next week or something and give you the down low, I'm sure, depending on how things go, we'll write up some type of press release after tomorrow and get it out to everybody.
We'll get it squared away.
All right, guys, thanks a lot. I appreciate your time.
Thanks,
Yeah.
man.
Talk
See
to
you later.
buddy.
See you later.
There goes Jason Butts.
Jason Butts. You know, it's that's a dangerous game to play when it's coming to a show to even mention any. And listen,
Anything.
every fair, every Derby's got some kind of turmoil that happens throughout the season. But it really makes Derby guys nervous, and Derby guys
yeah.
they,
Yeah, you can
they
start-
pass notes to each other, and then everyone's like, "Well, I don't want to go there," and it's like, "Oh yeah, he's not going over that. I don't want to go there either."
It's the whole, and now you're taking it. He's the quote unquote show manager. I mean, when you throw that title out there saying that he's not going to be there, everybody just instantly it's like,
No, thank you.
The show's going to shit. You know, but in actuality, it sounds like everything's pretty much on track, and
he's doing the right thing.
Exactly.
I know he was pissed off and he was out for whatever reason, but that also on the back end affects hundreds of people that were planning on being there that day.
But you got to see it through. I mean, this close, you know.
Well, I don't really, you know. I mean, ultimately, if a decision needs to be made, you know, they do their votes when they do their votes. The fire department does their votes. Their officers votes when they do the officers' votes. That schedule's not going to change. Jason opts in the wake of that to step away from the show, and that's a real challenging situation because, you know, 8 weeks backwards, it wouldn't have necessarily been so much of an issue, but now we're 6-7 weeks away from the actual show date, and these changes they're not going to be that well received.
There's cars built.
There's cars built.
There's guys that spent thousands of dollars to go to this show.
Yeah.
I can name 10 of them that I know are building right now.
Cars were being built in November and December.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's
because it's a good it's a good show. But man, guys get nervous when
they're nervous to start with.
Yeah.
Exactly.
To start with, period, this year.
It's tough to get guys to go to a show. Then they said and then they hear it's like okay, I'm out of this one. And it happens to me. I wanted to go to 20 different shows 6 months ago. Now you talk to me, it's like, oh yeah, I forgot all about those for whatever reason. And now we're so close, it's very dangerous. You know, I hope they get back with butts and then it just all kind of smooths over.
Yep.
I think for that show, it's the best thing that could happen.
Well, they need to get their shit together. I mean, it's just it's literally. I mean, literally, like you said, it's people. No,
right.
it's people that don't understand.
Yeah.
That want to make all of a sudden just say, "Well, screw it, we want to do it." Well,
Oh, absolutely.
You know, and it's people like
no
that.
idea they have anything about that Derby guys are spending thousands of dollars and been building since November.
Exactly.
And I agree 100%.
Yeah.
You know what really opened my eyes up to like a promoter's issues was when we went to Minnesota and to see the stuff that Randy was going through the night before. We went out to dinner and he had like 6 calls at dinner. And he's like, yeah, it's been like this for, you know, his wife's like, it's been like this for like 2 months. And then, you know, he's got to worry about snow removal and, you know, everything. And I'm going, man, being a Derby promoter really sucks. I mean, it's not just, I mean, the day of the show is bad enough, but I mean, for a big show like this, you do have to plan so far out ahead of time.
I promoted for 5 years at a county fair level. I hated it.
Yeah, no one cares.
I hated it. It was the worst thing ever. I know no one cares, but it was horrible. Don't ever do it.
Well,
I mean, you cannot make everybody happy, and most promoters are actually going there to make people happy. You're saying, okay, let's do something we all enjoy. Then you got guys screaming at you and yelling at you, and people don't want to cut checks and that. It's such a pain in the ass. Stay out of that side of it. Let Ben handle it because no one else wants to.
Even Ben, I don't think Ben likes it as much.
I don't think Ben likes to promote.
I don't
Ben
think
likes
Ben
to
likes
expect.
I think Ben likes to tell people like, okay, you built this wrong.
No, I enjoy it. I mean, I enjoy it. And like I've always said, when it's not fun for me anymore, then I won't do it.
Yeah.
But
Ben likes standing over a guy's car and being like, you call that a weld?
I've seen him do that.
No, there is people that get very upset when I mean, I've made people take stuff out of their cars because I mean, it's like, guys, this is going to turn into a projectile out there,
yeah,
you know. And
popcorn welds.
They get literally mad. And I literally, I got this guy. I got to tell this quick story. The guy, I told him, I said, you have to take that out of there. I said, it's not welded in properly. I said, I'm for your safety. How do you know? How do you know how to weld? That's a good weld. And I think Devin Manichaki about pissed his pants because he's like, dude, that's all he does all day long.
Does it for a living.
You know, so it's like, but no, there is people that actually think that everything looks good and but.
Well, look at a kid in Minnesota. We were in the four bangers, and a kid
he pulled the bars out.
He pulled his dash bar out and just chucked it to an official. Here, catch, sir.
That was some nice steel, though. I mean,
it was brand new and clean. That's how bad of a welder he is. He couldn't even weld clean metal.
But, I mean, but even in my aspect, I'm not even a promoter, but just being an inspector, I mean, I get phone calls year round.
You're the man.
Year round, all day long.
Let's play this real quick, and we'll come back and get out of here.
That was my phone call.
New name, new promoters, new format. The annual Spring Derby, hosted at Fireman's Park in Cuba each June, was given a facelift this offseason, and the 3,500 to win Limited Weld Championship is now known as the Smashed Empire National. The event is set for June 7th, 2014. The event will be directed again by Jason Butts, with rule enforcement and inspection in the hands of Jeremy Hayduke and Derby Dog Productions.
The limited weld and 1200 to win economy divisions will go back to a heats and featured format. The compact one and done will pay 1200 to win, and the card includes truck and the 1100 to win compact team border war. General admission for adults and children over 8 years is $10. Kids age 7 and under are $5.
Pit passes are $25.
Cougars can set up for $100. Admission gates open at 11 a.m. Pit gates open at 9. Inspection closes at 12:30, and action begins at 3. Be sure to go on Facebook and like the Smashed Empire Nationals, www.facebook.com/Smashed Empire Nationals, and check back for announcements and updates.
I can't. I'm itching a derby right now.
You're itching to derby?
Dude, I don't. You know how like sometimes you get that.
Itch.
No, it's an itch. I'm
drive.
itching right now.
We are just about out of time. I got a note from Robert Compton at Cheaters Videos. They still have 4 issues of issue number 1 of Derby Inc. available.
I'll take them.
You want all of them?
Yep.
You want all?
$50 a piece.
Yep.
Nope. Not gonna do that to me.
Put them on eBay.
Nope. I'll take all.
That's
four
why
of them.
I considered saying that. You know,
Put it on eBay.
let me buy them back. And I'm just gonna put them on eBay. See what they bring.
No, I'll take them.
They got them.
That's the one when I'm on the cover.
That's the one
Oh,
where you're on the
Jesus.
cover.
I'll take them all. Thank you.
Well, I mean, they're not giving them away.
He's got them framed in his kid's room already. They're on
Actually-
the wall.
Yeah,
It actually is framed. My
I have
lady.
no doubt.
yeah. She made a nice collage out of it, right?
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, she took all the pages and put on a whole thing, and
That's
it hangs
cool.
in our
That
living
is
room.
cool.
No, it was very nice of her.
But yeah, they got 4 left. I didn't know that there was any still around, but they've got 4 left. And Cheaters Videos travels all over the Midwest. They were out on the road last week, and they're just about out of issue number 3 already too. So
It's awesome.
yep. So looks like there's going to be some more copies
That's
heading off
another one of
to
those
Cheater
things-
Videos.
That's another one of those things you came up with that somebody said wouldn't work, and it's doing all right so far.
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, it's one of those things.
When people say things aren't going to work,
It's usually
this guy
jealous.
gets motivated.
He does.
He doesn't like that. Actually, everyone should say it to him. It's fine.
Absolutely.
It's not going to work. No. Oh, really?
That's what you do. I see you steaming when you hear that.
Just don't say boycott.
Right.
Yeah.
Did
no,
You said, did you just call me chicken?
Yellow.
Yeah, that's it. Yellow. Yeah.
I love Marty McFly.
No, I don't remember what it was. Anyway.
hey,
In
also,
part 3, it's yellow.
Yeah.
also, I missed out last week.
Yeah,
Kylie,
you did.
Kylie Kunkel also helped with the Iowa Derby party, and I missed. She was not on the list.
Hey, let's throw a good job to Daniel Hoare. I heard
Yeah,
he
top 5.
Lucas Oil Speedway had a derby.
Yeah.
He won his heat. A couple of Iowa guys went out together. I guess
of
they
them.
got pretty
Daniel
whooped
was-
on in the feature. But
Daniel's brother-in-law, and I think just another buddy of theirs, and they all
how do you say Rob's last name? The winner, Rob
Hoyer.
H-E-U.
Hoyer.
Are you guys
Hoyer.
sure? Oh,
I believe so.
He's the winner. He was in a Cadillac, 4, 5, or 6 Cadillac.
We saw
and,
him run a Blizzard Bash last year, remember?
Yeah, no, I do remember.
I believe
him.
he was the guy that I think he got thrown out.
Oh, he's the one that the
He got black flagged
black flagged out there.
in the, I don't remember what division. There was so much going on. It's going to be even busier this year.
Think of it. There's going to be more than dude.
Yeah.
Anybody that likes derbies,
We're basically
Put
gonna
your
be out
vacation
there.
time
We're
in
gonna
right
basically
now.
be out there 9 days.
that's fine.
Just let me know ahead of time. I got a lot of swapping to do.
Chris Atkins was telling me a bunch of Ohio guys are going there just
Yeah.
from listening to us. They're
Chris-
like, man, it sounds great.
Chris
you know?
Atkins, Derby Inc. subscription just went out.
Those guys are good stuff.
Yeah,
but to see
they're-
Ohio guys going out there, and we're slowly getting everybody out there.
Yep,
You know, now
little by
it's-
little.
Yeah.
Little by little.
Chris Marquardt, he brings people together.
Yes, he does.
I try. I do what I can.
He's a professional.
Well, thanks for joining us for this edition. I'm a professional. What are you doing? Stop.
What do we got planned for next
Stop.
week?
Yeah.
I got it written down at home. I think coming up here before too long, Brandon Tyson's going to be on talk about Plymouth County. I know we've got 2 episodes booked where we've got the folks from Smash It are going to be on to talk about Bash for Cash.
Nice.
So that's going to be a busy one. I know we've talked about Rick Clark being on the show. We got to get that set up, and I know
Randy.
I want to see what Bill Miller's schedule is like next time he's going to be running, because I want to have him on the show again. Because I mean, I love talking to that guy. That Camaro, that was such a game changing.
Like every time I say I want to drive one, they're like, "All right, come get it." You know, it's like, stop tempting me because I would love to drive two of them. Ben, what if we drove them together? Bill, you listening
Dude, I
out
love
there?
that.
Bill,
We gotta
I'll throw
do
you
it.
some cash. Just let me and Ben run them. You drag them somewhere, I hand you a wad of cash. How about we do it?
Let me
Well,
guess. You're going to drive for the win and Ben's knocking people out of their seat?
That's how we. That's
I'll be the
tag
steering
team.
wheel holder.
Damn right.
All right. I just wanted to make sure I had that right.
Those would be
But-
fun to drive hard.
Oh,
Those Camaros.
you can
are
drive them
nasty.
forward. You can drive
All
them forward
day.
all you want.
Every time I look at them, it's like, damn, there's a lot of work in them.
yeah.
Steve Bucknam just realized there was a time difference. He just messaged me. He was ringing in on Skype, and I'm like, we got to get out of here anyway. Episode
Where-
120.
He's
Florida,
down
is there a
playing
time
with dirt
difference?
bikes.
On the top of the Panhandle. The top of the
towards,
Panhandle. Over-
Louisiana.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, top of the Panhandle.
Somewhere
they
by
changed
Vern.
times
Vern's
there.
down there too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Vern who?
Lucky
That's him.
SOBs. Vern every day snaps me pictures. Cars.
Today,
Okay, just saying,
Today
trying
he
to-
posted a picture of chicken parm.
Oh,
Just saying, boys. Trying to get out of the show.
Oh, yeah.
Just throwing it out there.
Get us
so
out
you
of
know.
here.
Get it out of here.
So Andrew Shoemaker, get on there and like those guys. Go message Robert Compton from Cheaters Videos, Brian Tompkins, Josh Decker, Jason Butts, Ben Host. I'm Chris Marquardt. Thanks for joining us on this edition of the Crash Course. We're going to be back here next week. We'll see you then.
That Halo bar question.